Hey guys, it's January 10th, 2019. In Uwharrie National Forest right now. Gonna try out and test out a bunch of new stuff that I got based on the stuff I saw on a couple of YouTube channels. I want to acknowledge those folks before we get going. Darwin on the Trail, big influence. Loved watching his stuff. Homemade Wanderlust, watch her Triple Crown hikes. The Whimsical Woman, her PCT hike was inspiring, and what she had to say about life, etc. After the hike, even before the hike if you watch her first video. Follow Bigfoot, he's got a great channel. And two other guys, Shug Emery, woo buddy, and Joe Robinette. Anyhow, I've watched a bunch of their stuff and they've inspired me to get out and do it. So anyhow, that's why I'm out here doing this. And today I'm going to set up some new stuff that I got based on some input that I got from Darwin's channel about ultralight on a budget. He's got parts 1, 2, and 3. If I can and figure out how to do it, I'll post links to that stuff below, and maybe links to the stuff that that I'm trying out. Anyhow, that's what I'm doing. Hope you enjoy it. Talk to you in a bit. Okay, so I'm gonna walk you through my thought process. This is the GeerTop one-man tent that Darwin recommends on his ultralight on a budget. About $100 on Amazon. We're gonna check it out. So I'm gonna give this thing a spin, see if it's okay or not. It's gonna be 22 tonight, so we'll see. And we'll see what I've got in terms of sleeping bag, etc. I didn't go for the Aegis Max that he's got listed right now because I had another sleeping bag that should cut it. Anyhow, I put a Tyvek ground sheet on, which I've got grommets for, but I haven't yet attached those with some shock cord because I wanted to get a feel for placement relative to the tent. And I'm gonna put those grommets on. And I've got some excess over there that I got to figure out about. I deliberately got the one with excess because I wasn't exactly sure how big the footprint of the tent was going to be, etc. One thing I like about the way the GeerTop tent is it's got the bathtub and it's got the two strings and they're in the right orientation for them both to be pulled out by the one stake, so that you actually get the height of the bathtub just normally. Anyhow, I'm going to get the ground sheet stuff figured out and then look at the fly, and I'll catch you up then. Okay, I'm back. I'm not going to cut the excess Tyvek today, just because. Just make sure I got it right. One thing that I thought was pretty cool on the GeerTop tent is that there's a stay of some kind or other, I don't know what it's made of, between the upper connection of the bathtub and the lower. And that obviously makes for a good bathtub, makes it solid. So that's pretty cool. I got the Tyvek ground sheet because I'm really thinking about the PCT and anything to prevent punctures of an air mattress. I think would be advantageous. Plus, I think just pulling it out when you're going to go sit somewhere, if you're not going to sit on the Z seat, or even if you're going to sit with it, probably advantageous. So anyhow, that's what I got so far. I'm going to put up the fly and we'll see how it is. Get back to you. Okay, it took a few minutes to figure out how I wanted to put the fly on, but I see you basically just put it on roughly and then you square out the corners to get additional tension. Anyhow, I only got 2 guy lines on it right now. This is a window vent, or a vent, whatever. I may put something on that just to stop it flapping. I used shock cord because sil nylon will kind of stretch and that shock cord will keep it all tight. Touch wood. We'll see tomorrow morning. I've still got the Tyvek right there, and I'll probably roll that back so that I don't think it's going to rain, but if it was to rain, I don't want it to land on the Tyvek and manage to make its way under the tent somehow. So yeah, I've just basically got shock cord on all the corners and a couple of the pullouts, and just these couple guy lines on the ends. And I'll probably access the tent from the GeerTop sign here on the downhill side, and I'll put my pack underneath the fly area there. I'll show that to you in a minute. Getting in and out, not sure. We're going to see how it is, but there's both shock cords here on the one stake, and once I get inside, I'd put the shock cord back on the one stake. So we'll see how it goes, and I'll catch up with you. Okay, here's a look at it with one of the doors open. It's pretty tight. I'm 6'2", so I'm going to probably put a couple pullouts on the ends. I got the orange Outdoorsman Lab sleeping mat. Not sure what the R value is. I'm a little worried about that tonight because it's going to be 22. But whatever. I got the orange just in case of emergency type situations. I didn't want to get the orange fly for the tent. You can do that if that's what you want to do. Little slope in there. The best I could do. I'll just put my bag of clothes on the downhill side to help prevent me from rolling. And I used to be a tree dweller, Sugary Shug, Woo Buddy tree dweller, but because I'm thinking about the PCT, I wanted to get the stuff so I could be on the ground. And I like the Z-pad, sit pad right there to keep clean when I go in the tent, not drag stuff in there. But yeah, you can see the vestibule fly, whatever. It's got plenty of room. Keep your stuff. I ended up putting the second pull out there for the venting. And inside of there on the tent, I'll do the same kind of thing so that it will pull out even higher. Because that's the challenge, is that the slope of the roof is pretty tight. But yeah, it felt pretty cozy. Anyhow, I'm going to go probably take a short little walk, check out some hiking apps. I'm checking out all trails right now for the Uwharrie area. And I'll get back to you. I wanted to mention that while I'm here at my base camp, this would be a great spot for a scout troop to come and camp as a group. Been camping here with my daughter and son-in-law and son for 15 years probably. There's two main sites, but there's tons of other places for kids to hang or put tents or whatever. Big old field. And all you do is come in the main entrance to Uwharrie. I'm not sure which side it is. It's one of the trailheads for the REI Trail. Anyhow, then you just take the Wood Run Road, which is continuing straight. Go about a mile towards the Wood Run, quote, camp. And it's on the right, and you'll see this big open field. And then you're in business. This is the bike trail that comes off of that road to Wood Run Camp. And a lot of people will recognize that tree. Anyhow, yeah, I'm just gonna walk down towards Wood Run, and the creek is up. We haven't had rain for 3 or 4 days, but we had a couple weeks of rain before that. Anyhow, I'm gonna walk towards Wood Run. I'm looking at getting a DJI Osmo Pocket camera for this kind of thing, because when I looked at it compared to the Hero 7 Black GoPro, the shake was significantly less. And you know, I kind of looked at it as an afterthought because I was thinking about getting a GoPro, and then I said, well, what's that? What else is out there? And saw the Osmo Pocket's got a built-in mechanical gimbal, and it's small, and it really is nice. There's a guy called Air Photography online on YouTube that does a bunch of reviews of that kind of stuff. Other guys as well, but that's where I got my first idea about that Osmo Pocket. So anyhow, something to look into if you're looking to vlog your stuff. I'll catch up with you later. One thing I think's funny is when you're hiking, at least here on the East Coast, it's probably easier to get into this habit, but looking down at the trail all the time as opposed to looking around and seeing what's there. Which is kind of why I want to hike the PCT, because the vast vistas, etc. I mean, I've been out there, but so different than the East Coast, which is kind of where I grew up. That green tunnel business of the Appalachian Trail, that description and the videos I see and the stuff that I've done up there, with the exception, I'm going to say, of Grayson Highlands, which is like Mordor. Anyhow, that stuff is not really that appealing to me. If I managed to get it, go for a triple crown, I think the AT would be third. And then probably just to do it. It's kind of interesting. I see that Darwin's knocked out 2 already, AT and the PCT. And he said, oh, everybody thinks that CDT's got to be next. But he said he's not feeling it. So I can totally buy that. He'll probably knock it out sometime, but just got to do what feels right. And that's kind of when I watched Jennifer Mavis's stuff, Whimsical Woman. She kind of inspired me to get off my ass and go live my life. Anyhow, this is Wood Run Camp. Let me spin it around, see if you can see it. Don't know how that turned out, but whatever. Anyhow, yeah, I'm thinking about the PCT first, because of the vistas and sort of the grandeur of it all. But I also love canoeing in the boundary waters in Quetico up between Minnesota and Canada, and want to do some more of that. And I'm a big fishing freak, bass fishing, but that's a story for another day. Anyhow, I'm checking out this All Trails app, and in airplane mode it kind of shows me the Uwharrie Trail and how far off it I am, etc. And that's what I'm going to try to do right now, is find the Uwharrie Trail and backtrack it to the main entrance, and then go back to my camp setup. I got a fire set up ready to go, just gotta light it. Don't want to do that in the dark. That's why I kind of set up my tent and all that stuff in the light. Don't want to do that for the first time in the dark either. But anyhow, there's absolutely nobody here. It's fantastic in that regard. Have one car come all the way up to Wood Run Camp and then go on out. But otherwise it's dead silent. And that's fantastic. Although I'm sure I'm going to hear the coyotes again tonight. Usually making noise about 3 a.m. Don't know how that's going to be different when I'm on the ground versus hanging in a hammock. Probably not. Maybe a little more muted. Anyhow, catch you. Walking on the road from Wood Run Camp brings back some memories. Where's the last place? I was able to walk with my dog Jasmine. We had to put her down pretty soon thereafter. Anyhow, good girl. Not the AT. Made it to Uwharrie Trail and backtracking towards camp into the main entrance. No leaves on the deciduous trees. Imagine that, January 10th, I think. Kids and I joked that this place was 20 acres and it was just switchbacks all the time. But I don't know how big it is actually. On that back path, Wood Run Camp, quarter mile. Trail's marked by the white blazes, but somebody's also marked it with pink flagging. Pretty easy to follow. There's my camp. Let's see if anybody messed with it. I doubt it. Nobody out here. Gonna switch into a different base layer. A little sweaty in this one.